Morning and welcome to our next episode, which is a 4-night stay at the 4-star Keswick Reach Lodge Retreat in Cockermouth. In this video review, we'll be taking you on a brief tour around the site where you'll see some of the site facilities, lodges, and at the end we'll tell you how much we paid for it. We also take a look around the on-site bar and restaurant. We also check out the lodge that we are staying in. During the evening, we also get to try some of the food in the on-site restaurant. And finally, we get to try out the Amara on-site spa. In the usual leisurely walks fashion, we always start our tours from the entrance to a resort. Keswick Reach Resort is located on the A591 between Bewaldeth and Whitrigg, and is located within an hour's drive of Keswick, Windermere, Ambleside and the seaside town of Whitehaven. The entrance to the resort leads straight into the main car park, where the main building has the sales office, reception, bar and restaurant, gym and spa is located. The car park has quite a number of spaces for parking, which is very useful when you arrive to check in. However, it can get quite busy when there are a lot of people checking in at the same time. But on the day we arrived, even though the car park was busy, I can say we had no issues with parking whilst we checked in. One tip I would advise is sometimes Keswick Reach will call you to offer priority check-in for £20. We decided to take this and it was worth the £20 as the queue for checking in was quite long when we arrived. The resort is also very dog friendly. Located just here is the dog wash, so if your dog enjoys getting muddy, you can give your dog a good rinse down afterwards with the dog washing facilities in the room. Just around the other side of this wall is some bike racks to allow you to park your bike if required. Also located next to the dog wash is the bike wash, so similarly to your dog getting muddy, if your bike also gets muddy, then there is also somewhere you can give your bike a good rinse down if needed. Located just to the right of these buggies, there was a 2-port car charger. However, we were unclear if this could be used by guests, as the information in the lodge suggested that there could be no car charging on site. Maybe this was out of date information, but if anybody knows, please let us know in the comments. Okay, so now we enter the main lodge part of the site. You may notice at the time of taking this video that the place looks a little overgrown. We assume this is down to wilding to allow a natural habitat for bugs and insects to survive. There were signs around the site that these areas were being cut during the time that we were there, but it is good that the site is considerate to nature, not all about the aesthetics of the site. During this part of the tour, I am only going to walk down the main road of the site, as each cul-de-sac looks pretty much the same anyway, but as you can see, the lodges are well spread out, and given that there are lots of people on site, you hardly see anyone. So it's for the most part peaceful and quiet, which is fantastic if this is what you look for in a resort like this. Walking around the resort, we can see that it is also clean and tidy. Given that the site is dog friendly, and we did see quite a few dogs around during our stay, there was no dog mess around at all, which is great. In total, there are 140 self-catering, modern, open-plan style lodges on site. Standard check-in starts at 4 PM with check-out by 10 AM. As I mentioned earlier, we were offered a priority check-in for £20, which allowed us to check in at 2 PM instead of 4 PM. The lodges are a mix of 1 to 4 bedrooms, so can sleep from 1 to 8 people. Some also have hot tubs and log burners, and some are pet-friendly lodges specifically allocated for guests with dogs, so it pretty much caters for everyone. Also included on site is free Wi-Fi. Another useful feature of this particular site is the provision of parking spaces outside the lodges. Smaller lodges are single space, where the larger lodges have 2 spaces, and also dotted around are additional visitor parking spaces. So with this and the main car park, there is plenty provision for parking on site, which is not something you see in every lodge resort. Around the site there is also the occasional pathway leading to walks out into the surrounding areas with some stunning views of the hills in the background. Now at the edge of the site, we now go down some steps to the lower level, which leads back up to where we originally started. As you can see, some of the lodges in this area have a very nice view overlooking the pond. I was going to get a bit closer to the pond, but I'm not sure these geese were entirely comfortable with us being a bit close to them, so we swiftly moved on to let them enjoy their space. Oddly, there is some pampas grass in this island in the road here. There is a bit of an urban myth about pampas grass which goes back to the 1970s, in which the plant was assumed to represent a certain community. Luckily, I didn't also spot any upside down pineapples around it or anywhere else on the site, so likely here just for decoration and not representing a cheeky side to the resort. Wink wink. Dotted around the sites are also these bug hotels to encourage more wildlife. Sadly, given the amount of wilding and bug hotels to encourage it, we didn't see any bugs at all. The only things were a few flies and the occasional rabbit hopping around the site, so maybe it is a bit sparse in this area, and if it is, hopefully the yearly wilding and bug hotels will help it recover. Okay, so we're going into the main building now. Just to the left through the second doors is the reception area for check-in. Next to that is the shop, which is great for any essentials. Items from the shop you need to pay for at the bar. Next to that is the spa and the gym. We'll try the spa later in this video. Then we have the bar area, which has been nicely decorated with some flags. The bar can get busy at times, but does also have its own menu with a variety of items which are all reasonably priced. There is also a nice outside area with a number of tables and chairs. Towards the back there is the Cockermouth restaurant, which can seat quite a few people in, and has a log burner in the middle of the room, which is nice in the winter. We didn't have any food in the bar area, but did eat in the restaurant, which is later in this video. Again, reasonably priced if you can see from the menu. Apologies for some of the quality of the footage in here, as I didn't have my usual camera with me for this bit. Just out of the first doors, in between the outside doors, is the sales desk, so you can actually buy your own lodge if you wanted to. They're not by any means cheap, but certainly a nice area to buy one if you considered it. Okay, so now we're going to head to our lodge. Okay, so the lodge we're in is an 8-bed without a hot tub. It does have a log burner, but unlikely to need that at this time of the year. It does have a nice rattan table and chairs outside, and also has a nice fully fitted kitchen area. Well, that beer isn't all for me. A nice island with gas hob, dishwasher, washer dryer, good oven. We did use this a few times. Microwave, plenty of cupboard space, and a large fridge freezer, dining space for 8 people, and a good sized TV. Although we found that we couldn't use the TV to connect to Netflix or YouTube, it didn't allow it. All lodges have a central heating system throughout, so you don't have to rely on the log burner if you don't want to. So down the corridor, the first and second bedrooms are with 2 single beds on the front of the lodge, and have their own TVs and a double socket to plug things in, like phone chargers, etc., and a small wall cabinet just underneath. The main bathroom has a bath stroke shower, toilet, large mirror, and a tile radiator. The third bedroom has a double bed, full length wardrobes each side of the bed, its own bathroom, and also a TV. The fourth bedroom also has a double bed, full length wardrobes, TV, double sockets on both sides of the bed, and its own bathroom, the same as the third bedroom. The bathroom areas in the bedrooms were clean and tidy, with space just for one person in the shower. As part of the site being dog friendly, there was also a dog pack in the lodge, which consisted of poop bags, a dog toy, and also a bowl, which is a really nice extra if you've brought your dog to stay with you. Okay, just going back to the bathroom and the bedroom, just to show you how clean the shower and cubicle is. You can see it is very clean. Considering how much use these must get, it is pretty good. The cubicle is small, as you would expect in a room like this, but it is absolutely fine for one person in the shower. Here is some of the food we had in the Cockermouth restaurant. It was okay. We've had better and we've had worse. I guess you need to consider that some lodge sites don't even have a restaurant, So in an area where the nearest restaurants are a few miles away from the resort, it was absolutely fine and definitely worth eating there. In the lodge you'll also find on-site information about opening times of things like the bar and the restaurant, the spa and the gym, and other information about the site such as Wi-Fi and checkout information, plus some do's and don'ts. There is also a what's on guide in the lodge which tells you about various events each week. Apart from the quiz and some other entertainment, there isn't a lot on, but again it is more than some other lodge sites that have no entertainment at all. Also in the lodge is some information about a late checkout. Basically if you spend £20 in the on-site shop, you can earn yourself a late checkout. We didn't buy anything from the shop as we didn't need anything, but worth it if you do happen to spend this much at the shop. Just a couple of things to point out with the lodge that we stayed in. We don't usually point these things out as we don't like to feel like we're complaining, but felt it was worth mentioning. These things didn't affect our stay whatsoever, and nor did we complain about any of it, but some people may not be impressed with it. It looked like our lodge was starting to show its age a bit, and maybe a slight lack of maintenance too. The skirting boards were pretty much around the whole lodge, had paint that would come off. The island in the kitchen, which had the cooker, had some trim that would come off the worktop and down the side of the unit. Some of the walls had what seemed to be greasy stains. The main patio door had the bottom trim piece missing so you could see daylight through it. The sofa had stains and a few tears in it, and the tap in one of the bedroom bathrooms was loose, but on the whole the lodge was very clean. Finally, we are moving on to the Amara Spa. Firstly, I'd like to point out that if you see this deal in your lodge, then unfortunately the deal is no longer active as confirmed by the spa. This deal should have been removed from the lodges, but it appeared it hadn't been removed from ours. However, the kind lady who worked in the spa did give us a discount as there was a few of us going in, which is very kind of her. We paid £15 each for the spa for 1 hour, which we thought was quite reasonable. Spa does do a few treatments, of which I've tried to capture as well as the prices for those who may be interested. We just went for the spa and didn't have any treatments as it was getting late in the day when we went in. The spa itself did seem a little understaffed as the lady taking the bookings etc. was also doing the treatments and looking after people in the spa area, but for us it didn't really cause any issues. Once in the changing room area of the spa, these were generously sized changing rooms which also had a shower in each changing room, so there was plenty of space to move around. The shower was also very nice, and body wash, shampoo and conditioner was also included in the changing room. Lockers are also provided free of charge in the spa, so no need to worry about finding change to put in it. You just put your stuff in the locker, set a code and off you go. Okay, so into the spa we go. Let's see what it's like. Okay, so what do we have in here? So we have a good sized sauna room on this side of the spa. Wow, yes, it's very toasty in here, but it has a nice view outside and plenty of seating for a number of people. Not sure I can stay in the sauna for too long as it is very hot. But over on the other side is the jacuzzi, You are restricted to 4 people in the jacuzzi, which is fine. The bubbles come on every few minutes and there's a nice temperature in there. Then over on this side there are 4 sun lounges. These are very comfortable. I could probably spend more time on these than anywhere else. Then finally a cold water bucket and shower in this room, and yes, that water is cold. The temperature in the sauna is 85 degrees Celsius, which is insanely hot. If anyone can stay in here for 15 minutes, then you'll definitely need that cold water bucket afterwards. So, how much did we pay for this 4-night stay in Keswick Reach? Well, it was just £485. Anyway, that's all from us for this video. If you like this review, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.